Hello, boys and girls. We are back with an actual, I guess, channel appropriate video. Uh, this is some of the stuff I do right now. This last week. What's today? Wednesday. May something. Fuck, I don't know. So this is a rewire that I'm working on right now. It's actually the top half rewire of a 1912 house here in Hillcrest, San Diego. And this is this is the attic space that I haven't really been working in. I've crawled up here a couple of times, but most of the stuff's happening from down below. And you can see some of my new lines I've had to repull. And so this is the old knob and tube. These are the knobs, and the wires tie off the knobs, and they would splice them together and wrap them just like that. One is the hot, one is the neutral. And then over here you can see that right there. See this? That's a tube. That's a ceramic sleeve, essentially. I don't know why they have one layer like that. I think that's covering a splice. That's usually, they would drill a hole through the top of the wall and put one of those tubes through it, and the wire would run through the tube. Let me see if I can find an example of one. Here's one I cut off, and here's an old hole where an old tube was. That wire got stuck. It had to be abandoned. So here's my other wires going down the other tube hole. So yeah, these were all actually energized and still running, all hot. All the power outlets and switches in this upstairs of this house were all running off these knob and tube wires. So the homeowner was wanting to insulate, which is a great idea because these places get hot, like an oven. And and so they won't insulate until this knob and tube has been certified deactivated and is no longer good. So in order to kill it, I got to rewire everything that it's feeding. So you can kind of see here on the drops, just tee off. They just tap off of the knob and tube, and then they just shoot down. They just shoot down into their little holes down there to go where they need to go, and then they wrap off the knobs. They time off the knobs. So there is your knob and tube wiring. Yeah, no grounds, just one hot leg and one neutral leg. And the way that they ended up wiring some switches and fixtures in these places was really funky, really funky. So I've worked on these places a lot, so I've kind of gotten to know them pretty well. Yeah, and this is your old school lath and plaster. So there's redwood strips of 1/4 inch thick redwood strips that are then tacked with nails to the face of the ceiling joists or the wall studs, and then they fill it with a concrete float, which squishes in between the joints and does this little mush up effect you get. And then they top the wall with actual plaster to finish it off. So yeah, here we go. And then right now I'm about to crawl up here actually. This is a light over there. That's a can light. That's over their stairwell. And it's been spliced into a little box there that's inappropriate. I'm gonna get rid of that whole thing. And there's also a leg of knob and tube from another circuit coming from downstairs that I'm gonna have to click off and de-energize. So yeah, here we go. Let's have some fun. I'll be back with another short clip once I'm at the box location. I'll have a few little clips today. And before we go up, this thing here needs to go as well. This is literally just a neutral. Somebody tied in a neutral here. That's all it is. Just one little white to white, and then that goes down a wall. Everything else has been cut off of it. That's so funny. Okay, so let's see. This is where we're at. All right. So it's a beautiful house here. We have these wall sconces. So these wall sconces in this room. There's one. There's another one, and there's another one. Each room has 3. This room and the room over there has 3, and then the master bedroom around the corner has 3. And these used to be actually gas and electric back in the day. So if the electric wasn't reliable, you'd switch over to use the gas. And so it's kind of crazy. And so back in the day when they did these, they would just run the switch and the outlet right down along pretty much the same path. And these are all original locations. I have rewired, and some of the boxes have been changed, but they are the original locations of all this. So here's our other sconce with our old knob and tube wires there. That's all just going to get nicked off. There's our box below it. And then, of course, a box below, another sconce. So it's interesting. And then this is my little path that I went. So this wire is actually coming down from the basement. So it's going down the downstairs wall, downstairs. and into the crawl space, not really a basement, it's a crawl space, where the original panels have been flipped over into junction boxes. So you go up the wall and then go up there, and then that takes me up into the attic where I was just at. And if you notice, this is actually a 1912 era galvanized pipe. It's a gas pipe. And that's the gas pipe they ran up for dropping all the legs for the gas to the fixtures. So these all used to have gas plumbed to them as well as electric. So fun stuff. All right. So let's just do a quick little look at how I've made these up so far. So we've got our switch that's been rewired, and we've got our outlet which was rewired, and we've got our new box which has been trussed. I've given myself, the new light fixture switch leg, and then a separate power leg for the outlets. So this upstairs is now going to be on 2 separate circuits. One circuit for the outlets and then one circuit for the lights. So yeah, so that's that guy. And so then I used a combination of some different things here. Having to work with this old stuff is really challenging. When I cut around these boxes, whoever did the repair put in Fix-All, which is essentially like rock putty. It's like, it dries like stone, like a mild stone. So even the original 1912 concrete wall was softer than this. This turned my knives to like butter knives. It was just horrible. My blades just turned my Sawzall blades to butter knives. So here we got another box example of what's going on. So this is screwed in and pinned in there. And we've got the wires going too. And then of course this was the not so lucky incident. They actually had that wire getting pinched right here along the wall. They had opened this up previously and then patched over it and didn't put it through a hole like that. They just put it across the little angle bracket here, the little cross brace. Yeah, so, and it was also pinched up there. They notched it a little, but then it was still pinched and wedged in there really good. And when I cut this box out that was there, it cut that wire. So fun. Alrighty guys, I'll be back with another little video. I'm getting ready right now to connect to the other end of this flex rod that's up there with this wire set that's ready to go, and then that's going to get pulled down into the wall to the switch box, and one end of these 2 wires is going to the fixture and the other end is going to my power source junction boxes that I will have up in the attic there. Okay, catch you in a bit.